Okay, I wanted to make a quick video to go along with the assignment for today. First of all, I don't want you to be too fearful of this this word right here. Complex is not necessarily meaning hard. Think of it in the same way you'd use the word complex if you're talking about a group of apartments. An apartment complex is not necessarily difficult to figure out. It's just a group of them. So when you look at a complex number or a complex root for a quadratic equation, you're going to have a real part. Maybe it's going to be 5/3, something like that, but it's still a real number, plus or minus an imaginary part. Let's say just 7i. So a complex number is simply the combination of a real part and an imaginary part. In this case, we've got two solutions to a quadratic formula, quadratic equation, and they both happen to be complex numbers. Okay? So we're going to be dealing with complex solutions, but that doesn't mean, again, difficult. So let's take a look at start at one of these things. What are the roots of this equation in simplest form, a plus bi? So let's just start in here. The solution is going to look like this. I'm squaring b there, and then 4 times 9 times 8, all divided by 2 times a, so 18. So I'm just tossing the numbers in the formula. And then negative 12 plus or minus the square root of, let me just do a calculation here to see what that is. 144 minus 4 times 9 times 8 is negative 144 all over 18. We'll simplify that a little bit more. First of all, I'm going to split this up into two separate fractions because he wants it in the real number and the imaginary number separated. Okay. Plus or minus. The square root of 144 is 12, and of course you got a negative, so it's going to be 12i over 18. Okay. These will simplify to negative 2/3 plus or minus 2 over 3i, or if you want to write it as 2i over 3, like that. Either way, delta math will accept that as an answer. So there are your solutions. Negative 2/3 plus 2/3 I, and negative 2/3 minus 2/3 I. Okay, let's look at another one. So this one I'm going to have to putz around here and get it in the right form first. So let's get 9x squared minus 24x plus 19 equals 0. Again, we've got to have the whole thing equal to 0 before you can start using the formula. So x equals the opposite of b, so 24 plus or minus the square root of 24 squared is 576 minus 4 times 9 times 19. Okay, just tossing them into the formula here, and then all divided by 18 again. So then do a quick calculation here to get the square root part. 576 minus 4 times 9 times 19 is negative 108, all divided by 18. Okay. Split this up into two separate fractions, 24/18 plus or minus, well, let's see, 108 isn't a perfect square, so let's whack that apart here real quick. Divides by 2, you get 54. Divides by 2 again, you get 27. Divides by 3, you get 9, and divides by 3, you get 3. So here's a pair of 2's, a pair of 3's. Looks like I'm going to get 6 outside and 3 inside, but I'm also going to have an I because of the negative there. 6 outside, 3 inside, 18. And then these things will reduce. 24/18 is the same as 4/3. And the 6 and 18 are going to reduce to 1 and 3. You'll still have an I and a root 3. Okay. And there's no need to have a 1 there, so I'm going to erase that. Maybe. And then don't let anyone trick you into thinking you can reduce that 3 and that 3. This one's inside a square root, that one's not. Can't reduce it. So here's your answer. All right, so that should give you an idea of how to get started on these things. See you later.